Alice Cooper's nightmare castle. The doors have been locked, and you are doomed.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Squat Cobbler. I am Dr. Mike, at Official Pagan on everything. Joining me, as always.
Hi, everybody. This is Kelly at KELLYTHUL on Twitter and Instagram, and we would greatly appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, share our videos, comment, turn on notifications, and that's good. We'll stop there. Do that kind of
Quit while you're ahead there.
no extra bonus things coming from me, but any of those would be great. So it would be really awesome. So.
Now, from your background there, not that we need to tell anybody who's familiar with the show, but Kelly and I, both big Alice Cooper fans. Obviously, we've seen Alice Cooper live before. Kelly had the opportunity to see Alice Cooper recently. And was this, just to kind of set the scene, was this obviously not your first Alice show, but was this your first show since the start of the pandemic and lockdown and all that?
Yeah, it's my first past March of 2020 concert that I've been to.
Did you have any, other than it, obviously wanting to see Alice, was there any kind of hesitation that you had on getting back to going to concerts?
No, because I was in, I saw him in Nashville, and we all know Tennessee's like all over this, this thing. They got it all licked, but maybe not so much. But I wasn't that worried. I'm hopeful. I've been vaccinated. I don't need to kind of get into that too much, but that did give me comfort that was done. And
plus, just to be Kelly and I, and I'll put myself out there as well, since I'm also fully vaccinated, and Kelly and I load up on adrenochrome all the time.
Yeah, it was just for fun. I mean, that was just that was just
Baby's
a hobby. Always something. But yeah, so no big concerns. I think if I had just missed, it was a real bummer because the Who was going to be playing in Las Vegas in May of 2020, and that was the next concert I was lined up to go do. I was about to pull the trigger on buying the tickets, and I started going like, I better wait, and then everything kind of fell apart. And so now they're not even. Daltrey's off touring on his own. Townsend's still selling his house, and so I don't know if there'll be any more kind of Who shows at all. But so that was the last concert. I mean, I was really getting fired up for that, and didn't kind of work out. So then when I saw that Alice was going back on the road, and Ace Frehley was going to open for him, I was like, well, you just can't beat that. Absolutely have to go to that. So I did.
Very nice, very nice. So share your experiences with us, sir, as a seasoned Alice fan.
So I mean, you know what you're going to get. It's going to be a 90-minute show. You can almost set your watch by it. That's what it's going to run. It's going to be high energy. You're going to have an awesome band and a lot of entertainment. Well, the wild card for me was Ace. I didn't know what we were going to see there.
Now, had you seen Ace live before?
I had not. I missed an opportunity when he was actually in my neck of the woods a while back. Early on, he was doing a tour with Frehley's Comet, and there was a local place that he was playing, and I didn't pull it off. But so I had never seen Ace live.
Not even with Kiss? Had you seen Kiss?
I had seen. So when I saw Kiss, it wasn't with Ace. I think it was with Tommy Thayer.
Okay.
Pretty sure. They had gone back to makeup. This was off the makeup, back on the makeup, and it was sans Ace there. So I'd seen some concert stuff in Kiss with Ace, obviously, but never in person. So first of all, this was at the Ascend Arena or Amphitheatre in Nashville, which is an outdoor venue.
Was there any sort of other than it being outdoors? Was there any kind of restrictions due to COVID?
The only kind of COVID related restriction was that none of the vendors took cash. Everything had to be electronic, and so. whether you're getting a beer, or wanting to buy a T-shirt, or get some food,
Buying Coke.
or Pepsi, whichever you prefer. They everything was related to everything was going to be
You're
electronic.
getting too good at thwarting those.
I'm getting a lot of practice, Mike. So I'm learning to just you gotta lean into those, and knock them down quick. Um, and so that was it. But yeah, nothing else really um, uh, there in terms of. I mean, the crowd was basically not masked. It was full. I mean, the amphitheater was full, but it wasn't like a Clash concert in Aragon Ballroom full that I and those kind of things. But it's really nice because, and I'll put up a couple shots throughout the show here to kind of capture a few things. And they've got two very large monitors on either side of the stage, and so that really gives you some great up action there, and so you can kind of really see what's going on stage. Really added a lot. Our seats were actually pretty decent. I originally didn't think they were going to be that great, but I was in row K. If you think about your alphabet going back, it was not bad there. Really good sight. Sound was great. It's the start of the tour for Alice. His voice is usually strong almost all the time. Occasionally, you catch him at the very end of a long tour. You might start to sound a little bit ragged, but he was solid. The band was great, but Ace opened up. So Ace is actually a year or two younger than Alice, but is about 20 years older than Alice in terms of stage presence. he's he's not a mover and a shaker anymore.
Okay.
At all.
You a Megadeth guy at all?
No, I'm not.
I've seen Megadeth live a couple of times, never on purpose. Nothing against them. Just they're usually the opening band for the band that I'm going to see. Many years ago, I saw them. Maybe I was in early high school. I saw them open for Motley Crue, and they barely moved on stage. And they're younger physically than Motley Crue are. And Motley Crue, even Vince Neil, who I'm sorry to all the boomers who are kidding themselves and they're like, what happened to Vince Neil? It happened 40 years ago. Whatever happened to Vince Neil? Because when I was in high school and saw him, that's what Vince Neil looked like and sounded like. You're kidding yourselves. but even Vince Neil was moving around more than they were and everything. So that is something that I kind of take into account is stage presence when I go to see a show. It doesn't always have to be like, I don't expect an Alice show from everybody in terms of the theatrics. And in my opinion, unless you're good at that, that can ruin your show. I've seen people try theatrics and it just comes off really poorly. So, but I do appreciate a good stage presence. So he wasn't there for you with that?
Not really. It was interesting that his his band was actually, so Dean Simmons apparently was on the road a while back with this band, and Ace saw them and said, well, that band's better than my band. So he fired his band and hired Dean Simmons' band, and they were good. I could see why he hired them. They were very good. They brought the energy to the table, and I will have to, we're going to have to do kind of mentioned in the captions below here. The bass player for Ace's band also has a side gig selling pun dog related T-shirts. So it's a whole variety of those. So you should really check those out.
Were those wares available at the show?
Sadly, no. Although concert T-shirts now. So when's the last concert you were at?
So I just went to my first post-pandemic concert. Prior to that, probably late 2019.
Concert T-shirts are now $50 a pop.
I feel like for bigger bands, yeah, that's what I'm used to now.
Yeah, I mean, I could deal with 30 for, you're overpaying at 30 for a T-shirt, and then go 40 or 50 to get the hockey jersey or something like that, maybe 60. Yes, starting price, pay to play, starting price is $50 for a T-shirt, which is a little difficult to swallow when you can kind of take your phone and go to the Alice Cooper website and get the exact same T-shirt for half the price. So, pro tip for you: if you want to get one of those Alice T-shirts, you might want to check out his store online versus buying at the venue because it was at $50. But the No Dog Pun T-shirts, unfortunately, but they were really solid, and a couple of them, the bass player and one of the guitarists, would take the Kiss songs. They did a few Kiss songs, quite a few. Ones that were really kind of more of a Paul Stanley vocal. So Detroit Rock City would be a really kind of good example of that. Ace didn't take the lead on that. Ace has got an interesting voice. He's never been like 100% comfortable singing stuff. It took him a long time to actually take before he did like Shock Me, which was really the first time he started to do any sort of lead singing with the band. But for the ones that were more of definitely a Paul Stanley tune, initially, one of the folks would pick it up and take the lead vocal. Ace would do some in the background like he would have done with Kiss, but that's it. But then, he did Rip It Out. If you folks remember way back when, we reviewed Ace's solo album, great music, basic lyrics was our basic summary of it. But Rip It Out, one of my favorite songs off of that album, I'd seen the set list. It was not on the set list that I saw, but he had swapped out one of the Kiss songs for Rip It Out. So that was a very pleasant surprise. Sounded really good. New York Groove sounded really good. Ace trotted out his Kiss surplus guitar setup. So he had the one that kind of has the LED lights going back and forth, and the one that fires kind of light and smoke out of the pickup kind of thing. So that was pretty good. So enjoyed it. It was a good set. And then Ace said what we all expected that have happened. He goes, "Well, I'm leaving now, but Alice Cooper's going to come out and kick your asses in 30 minutes." So he walked off stage. And Alice came out and kicked our asses. It was pretty nice. It was good old Alice. They've upgraded $1 billion Babies distribution mechanism. Maybe this is a COVID thing. Used to be all the dollar bills were on the end of a sword that he'd shake out in front of the crowd. And maybe it's for better distribution. But now there's a large money cannon fired by a giant dancing baby that comes out and launches it. And I've got actually some footage of that. I'll make sure that hopefully that's dropped in there as you're hearing me talk about it because it was a fun little scene. So it was good. Book ended with Frankenstein. We started off with Feed My Frankenstein. And then the last song before the encore was Teenage Frankenstein, kind of one of my favorites. So those are all solid. And then, of course, the band with Neve Strauss, Tommy Hendrickson, Ryan Roxie, our good buddy Chuck Garrick.
Who Kelly has threatened numerous times on this show.
Just nailed it. They were awesome, as always. And so it was amazing to see. It was always good. Nina's got a good. They did Roses on White Lace, to punish me. You can't have a completely perfect evening. We're gonna play one of your least favorite songs on your least favorite album, and you'll have to deal with it. But it's got a lot of good guitar stuff in it, so that I had to respect and enjoy that. So that was. If you have not seen Alice Cooper, folks, we've said this many, many times before, and we will continue to say it. Go see him. It's a great show. It's really, really fun. He doesn't seem to be aging. It is. He does not show the signs of age. I can't really say the same for Ace, but definitely Alice is a much higher energy kind of deal, and he's surrounded by talent, as is Ace now. So it's a good show. Check him out if you can. It's always a good time.
All right. Well, it sounds like a good time, sir. So moving forward, are you comfortable going back to shows on a regular basis now?
Yeah, I think I'm. I'm comfortable kind of doing that. I'm just trying to keep my eye out for who's going to be, available and interested. I'd really like who to kind of figure out if they're going to give us one last shot at them performing. At least Daltrey and Townsend. I'd love to see that, but I'm not holding my breath anymore on that. But I'm very open to it. And of course, once Alice tour finishes up and Bisto Blanco hits the road, that is definitely, I'm going to find a way to see him. I would love it if they come back into Illinois, the same venue we saw him last time, because that was fantastic. We'll have to see.
Very nice, sir. Well, anything else to add?
Nope, not for this week. Just encourage folks if you like this kind of content, whether we're either talking about music, make recommendations on occasion, and of course a lot of retro gaming content. We'd greatly appreciate it if you would, subscribe to the channel and drop us a comment or two and help us understand what kind of content you'd like to see. We'd appreciate it. So, thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.